You just sold your dream car because you couldn't live with it. The GT-R, the Supra, the Corvette. Amazing on paper, hell in real life. But what if I told you there's one car that fixes everything? Listen, we've all been there. You buy the sports car, it's incredible, for 3 months, then reality hits. Can't daily it, can't fit anything, can't afford to fix it. Sits in your garage, depreciating. Today I'm showing you the BMW M2, the car that does everything. Actually, everything. Daily driver? Check. Track weapon? Check. Reliable? Shocking? Check. And if you've ever compromised on a sports car, this gets personal, real fast. The 2024 BMW M2 on paper? It shouldn't work. Twin-turbo inline-6, 453 horsepower, manual transmission available, rear-wheel drive in 2024, and somehow, BMW made it practical. I know. I didn't believe it either. But after living with one, I get it now. This is the sports car that doesn't punish you. Reason number 1. And this is the big one. The reason why M2 owners never sell. Ready? It's fast enough. Wait, hear me out, because fast enough just saved you $80,000 and your marriage. Here's what nobody tells you about supercars. You can't use the speed. Your GT-R does 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. Incredible. Know where you can use that? Nowhere. Literally nowhere legally. The M2 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. Still faster than 95% of cars on the road, but here's the magic. You can actually use it. Every day. Every on-ramp. Every back road. The GT-R, you're in jail speed by second gear. The M2, you're having fun in third, fourth, fifth, and you're still street legal. This is what enthusiasts mean by usable performance. It's not about the spec sheet. It's about the smile per mile ratio. And the M2? It's grinning ear to ear. But the power delivery? Chef's kiss. That's 58 engine. BMW's twin-turbo masterpiece. Linear power. Predictable boost. No lag. You want drama? It's there. You want civilized? It does that too. Unlike your Hellcat that's either off or homicide. The M2 has nuance. So reason 1? Fast enough to embarrass Porsches at stoplights. Slow enough to keep your license. And that's the whole point. Because what good is 700 horsepower if you're too scared to use it? The M2 says, use me, every day, I dare you. And it never punishes you for it. Wait till you hear reason 2. This one's controversial. Reason number 2. Deep breath. Because this makes supercar guys mad. It's actually reliable. I know. A BMW. Reliable. But the M2 is different. And here's why that matters more than you think. Your GT-R needs a transmission service. Every 15,000 miles. Know what that costs? $1,500. Your Corvette? Carbon brakes. $10,000 to replace. Your McLaren? Exists only to bankrupt you. The M2? Oil changes. Brake pads. Tires. That's it. That's the list. See, here's what changed. BMW's B58 and S58 engines? They're bulletproof. Toyota literally uses the B58 in the Supra. Toyota, the reliability kings. That's your endorsement right there. The M2's S58, same DNA, more power, and it just works. Let me paint you a picture. GT-R ownership first year, transmission service, $1,500. Tire replacement, $2,000. Brake fluid flush, $500. Random electrical gremlin, $3,000 total, $7,000. In maintenance, year 1. The M2, $800. Oil changes and inspection. That's it. But here's the real test. Can you daily drive it? And I don't mean technically possible. I mean actually, reliably, stress-free daily. The M2, yes, rain, no problem. Snow, put winter tires on. It's fine. Traffic, comfortable. Your Lamborghini, it overheats in traffic. So reason 2, reliability. The unsexy thing nobody talks about. But the reason you'll actually keep this car instead of selling it in panic after one repair bill. Now reason 3 gets interesting. Because this is where the M2 does something crazy. Reason number 3. It's small. And before you laugh, hear me out. Because size might be the M2's secret weapon. In a world of bloated sports cars, the M2 is a bantamweight boxer. Quick, nimble, aggressive, and that changes everything. Modern sports cars are huge. The new Supra, 172 inches long. The Corvette C8, 182 inches. The Challenger, a literal aircraft carrier, at 197 inches. The M2, 175 inches. Okay, not tiny, but here's the difference. Did it feel small? Because BMW knows what they're doing. That compact size, it makes the M2 feel alive. Tight roads, it dances. Parking, easy. City driving, you're not sweating. Your Corvette, you're doing a 47-point turn. Your Dodge, you're taking up 2 spots and praying. The M2 just goes. But the real magic? Canyon roads. This is where size becomes weapon. The M2 changes direction like it's reading your mind. Quick transitions, instant response, zero slop. Bigger cars feel lazy in comparison. Your Mustang? It's plowing, understeering. The M2? Rotating perfectly, neutral balance. This is driving nirvana. Track days? Size wins races. The M2 finds gaps. Brakes later, accelerates sooner. While your Challenger is trying to slow down its 4,300 pounds, the M2 is already on the throttle. Physics doesn't lie. Lighter, smaller, faster through corners. This is why Miatas embarrass Hellcats at track days. The M2? Miata philosophy. With 453 horsepower. So reason 3, size. The advantage you didn't know you needed, until you drive something compact and fast, and perfect. The M2 isn't small by accident, it's small on purpose. Now, reason 4 is where things get emotional. Reason number 4. The manual transmission. And yes, this matters, because in 2024 real manuals are dying. Porsche? PDK only on most models. Corvette? Auto only. GT-R, auto only since 2007. The M2 offers a 6-speed manual, and it's magnificent. Here's why the manual matters. It's not about speed. It's about connection. Automatics are faster, we know, but they're also boring. You're a passenger, watching the car perform. The manual, you're a participant. Clutch in, shift, rev match, engage. You and the machine working together. This is driving. That clutch pedal feel? Perfectly weighted. The shifter? Mechanical, precise, notchy in the best way. The rev match system? You can turn it off or leave it on. No judgment. But when you heel-toe yourself, blip the throttle perfectly, slot into second gear on a downhill corner, that's car enthusiast heroin. Now, the M2 also offers a dual-clutch auto, and it's brilliant. Faster, smoother, easier in traffic. No shame in choosing it. But here's the thing. If you want the manual, it's there. How many sports cars can say that anymore? Porsche charges $3,000 for a manual, if they offer it. The M2, standard option, no markup. And here's the secret. Manual M2S will hold value. Better than the autos. Because scarcity drives prices. In 10 years, manual sports cars will be collectible. The auto M2 depreciates normally. The manual M2 future classic. Mark my words, this is the last generation of truly great manual sports cars. Get it while you can. So reason 4, the manual transmission. The soul of driving, still available, still perfect, and a reason why M2 owners smile. Every single shift. Now reason 5. This is the big one. The reason that ties everything together. Reason number 5. And this is what separates the M2 from every other sports car. It's actually practical. I know, shocking. A sports car you can live with. Daily, year-round, no compromises. Let me show you how. Back seats. Real ones. Not theoretical seats. Not insurance purposes only seats. Actual usable back seats. Can you fit adults back there for a road trip? Honestly, no. But kids? Yes. Groceries? Yes. Your gym bag and work laptop? Absolutely. Your GT-R2 seats? Good luck. The trunk? Surprisingly decent. 10 cubic feet. 2 carry-on suitcases. Easy. Weekend trip? Totally doable. Track day, helmet, tools, spare wheels. Done. Compare that to a Corvette C8. Front trunk. 12.6 cubic feet, but awkwardly shaped. The M2 traditional trunk, actually usable. Daily driving comfort. This is huge. The M2 rides, well, it's firm. It's an M car, not a Bentley, but it's livable. Highway cruising, totally fine. Adaptive dampers help. Comfort mode, genuinely comfortable. Sport Plus mode, your chiropractor's retirement plan. But you have the choice. Visibility, excellent. You can actually see out of this car. The Camaro, you're piloting a bunker. The Corvette, good luck seeing anything behind you. The M2, normal windows, normal sightlines. Parking, no drama. Backup camera. Parking sensors, it's 2024. This stuff just works. Technology. BMW's iDrive system. Love it or hate it. But it works. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto Wireless. Navigation sound system. Climate control. All there, all functional. Is it as intuitive as Mazda? No. Does it do everything? Yes. You'll figure it out in a week. Winter driving. This is where the M2 shocks people. RWD sports car in snow sounds insane, but throw on winter tires. This thing is unstoppable. Traction control, stability control, proper weight distribution. I've driven M2s in Canadian winters. They're fine, actually fine. Better than your Mustang, that's for sure. So reason 5. Practicality. The reason you'll actually use this car. Instead of it being a garage queen, the M2 says, take me anywhere, I can handle it. And it means it. This is the only sports car that doesn't force you to compromise. Now let's be real. The M2 isn't perfect. It's not the fastest. The GT-R is faster. It's not the best handling. Porsche Cayman GT4 handles better. It's not the most exotic. Ferrari exists. But here's what the M2 is. The best all-arounder. The 95% solution. What does 95% mean? It means the M2 does almost everything. Almost as fast as supercars. Almost as reliable as a Civic. Almost as practical as a sedan. Almost as engaging as a Miata. But that 5% you're giving up, it's the stuff you'd never use anyway. The 5% you're missing, that's the 200 plus mph top speed. When will you use that? That's the 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Where's that legal? That's the carbon ceramic brakes. Do you track every weekend? That's the exotic badge. Is your ego that fragile? The M2 cuts the fat, keeps the fun, loses the BS. Let's talk money. 2024 M2 $65,000 starting, fully loaded with competition package, $75,000. Now compare. Porsche 718 Cayman GTS, $90,000. Corvette Z06, $110,000. Nissan GT-R $120,000. You're saving $30,000 to $50,000 and getting 95% of the experience. That's value. But the real value, ownership experience. You can actually own this car. Service it at any BMW dealer. Parts are available. No special tools required. Your McLaren, one dealer in your state. Maybe your GT-R specialist only. $. The M2 normal car ownership with supercar thrills. So who's the M2 for? The enthusiast who grew up. You still love driving, but you have responsibilities now. Maybe a family. Definitely a job. You can't own 3 cars. You need one car. One car that does it all. Daily driver Monday through Friday. Canyon carver on Saturday. Track weapon on Sunday. The M2 is that car. Who's the M2 not for? The spec sheet warrior. If you need the fastest 0 to 60 time, get a Tesla Plaid. If you need the best Nürburgring lap, get a GT3 Rs. If you need to impress people, get a Ferrari. The M2 doesn't win on paper. It wins in real life. And if you can't understand that, this car isn't for you. Let's compare to direct rivals. Toyota Supra. Great car, but BMW engine anyway, and less practical. 2 seats only. Porsche 718 Cayman, incredible handler, but $20,000 more and tiny trunk. Corvette C8, amazing value, but auto only and polarizing looks. Nissan Z budget friendly, but older platform, less refined. The M2, right in the sweet spot. But numbers don't tell the story. It's about character. The M2 has personality. That inline 6 growl sounds like motorsport. The steering feel, hydraulic assisted, heavy, communicative. The chassis balance, 50-50 weight distribution. It rotates, it grips. Whatever you ask, it delivers. This is a driver's car, not a computer on wheels. Here's the thing about the M2. It makes you feel something. Every drive, every shift, every corner, you're connected. Not managing systems, not monitoring screens. You're driving, steering, shifting, braking, accelerating. The fundamentals. And that feeling, you can't get it from a spec sheet. You can't get it from 0 to 60 times. You get it from seat time. Long-term ownership. This is where the M2 shines. Year 1, you're in love. Year 3, still in love. Year 5, probably still keeping it because it doesn't get old. The driving experience stays fresh, the manual never gets boring, the performance never feels slow, and the practicality? You use it every day. This isn't a honeymoon car, this is a marriage car. The aftermarket, endless with downpipes tune, 550 horsepower, easy, suspension, wheels, brakes, whatever you want. The M2 community is huge. Forums, YouTube channels, local clubs. You're not alone, and that matters, because enthusiast cars need enthusiast support. The M2 has it in spades. Let's address the elephant. The title says, never miss a GT-R. Bold claim. But here's what I mean. The GT-R is incredible, legendary even. But can you live with one? Honestly, most people can't. Expensive maintenance, harsh ride, impractical. It's a weekend car. At best, the M2, daily it, track it, love it, no regrets. See, the GT-R wins on paper. Faster, 0 to 60, higher top speed, more tech. But in the real world, the M2 is more enjoyable, more usable, more livable. And that's with more than 0.2 seconds to 60. You can only own one car. The M2 makes sense. The GT-R doesn't. Unless you're a collector, then buy both. So here's my verdict. 5 reasons. 95% solution. Fast enough. Reliable, compact, manual available, practical. The M2 fixes almost every sports car problem. Speed? Check. Usability? Check. Engagement? Check. Reliability? Check. Value? Check. This is the sports car for people who actually drive. The truth? Most sports cars are garage queens. Too fast, too fragile, too impractical. So they sit, looking pretty, depreciating. The M2 gets driven every day, rain or shine. And at the end of the day, isn't that the point of a sports car? To drive it. The M2 lets you do that without compromise. So what do you think? Is the M2 the 95% solution, or am I missing something? Comment below. Tell me your sports car struggles. What can't you live with? What do you wish your car did better? Let's talk. Because maybe the M2 isn't for you. Maybe you need that GT-R. Or maybe, just maybe, you need to test drive an M2. Hit subscribe if you want more real talk. No BS, no brand loyalty, just honest car takes. We're cutting through the hype and showing you what actually matters. Thanks for watching. Now go drive something fun. Life's too short for boring cars, even if they're practical. The M2, fun and practical. That's the whole point. See you in the next one.